Hello everyone, I'm Professor Geek. Welcome back to my channel, and pardon the handheld camera here, but I wanted to make a video responding to this today before I got home from the office tonight. So back in my faculty office, as we can see here, coming in early a bit here to make this video. And this is the news that dropped pretty much as my video on Dan Didio and DC reducing their titles. Pretty much as that video was processing, this news dropped about how DC is laying off 3% of its workforce and in issuing this memo, and it's going to change things up and is restructuring and all of this nonsense. And if you haven't caught it yet, I do recommend Ethan Van Sciver's video on this article as well from Hollywood Reporter. You can get this information from other sites as well, but he did a video on this. And as much as I just am devoted to Ethan Van Sciver, I'm a huge fan of his, both as an artist and as a YouTuber, but I respectfully disagree on his assessment of Dan Didio. He knows him, so I don't know if it's, part of it's just kind of wanting to, not speak out against a friend or whatever, but he did make the comment that Dan Didio has been there and really helped the DC universe through, kept it around, and if he goes, the core of DC will go and stuff like that. I would love to know some specifics as to why he feels that way, because as a consumer, I am seeing the exact damn opposite. This man is a plague upon the DC universe. And what cracks me up about this, and I'm just going to highlight this news for this video here, is this little statement that DC has sent out about this. They're going to work with, Dan Didio, all people, work with Dan Didio and Jim Lee, and they're going back to its roots. Here we go. DC is going back to its roots of delivering epic stories with world-class characters, stories, and brands, being a premier house storytelling. Does this sound familiar to anybody? Does this sound familiar? Because this is exactly what they did only 2 years ago with Rebirth. And why did they need to go back to basics with Rebirth? Because of the New 52. It had failed. Whose baby was the New 52? Dan Didio's. Dan Didio was made to take a back seat, shut up, let Jeff Johns come to the forefront, let his creative decisions stick, and then we had Rebirth, and it was delightful. It brought back tons of readers. It did extremely well. It was great for DC and the comic book industry as a whole in many ways. And then, after Rebirth, it had been around for a little while. Who came back? Dan Didio. Dan Didio started perking back up in the interviews and in the media and started talking a lot about the direction of the DC universe, and printed out his little letter to the fans in the DC Nation magazine about how we need to continue to be innovative like the New 52 was. I did reaction videos to those ridiculous letters to the fans that he would make. I'll link to those in the top right-hand corner. Innovative like the New 52 was. Well, what did he do? What did Dan Didio do to Rebirth, to the highly successful Rebirth? Brought in Bendis like a dumbass. What did Bendis do? Nothing. There was no boost because Bendis is here. No, that was ridiculous. Bendis took a crap all over everything that people loved about the Superman titles and what was going on. The stories we should have continued to receive from Tomasi and Jurgens, the wonderful arcs they had planned, they were ripped off of that. Super Sons, the amazingly successful and popular Super Sons run, canceled because Bendis wanted to do something different, and Didio approved because it was darker and edgier and blah-bitty-blah-bitty-blah. Fire Dan Didio. This whole little announcement, this restructuring, bullshit. It means nothing. It means nothing. It's just you spinning your damn wheels again, Warner Brothers, until you get rid of Dan. And I don't know how much Jim Lee plays into this or not. He's never the mouthpiece of this. I don't know. But Dan Didio has to go. Dan Didio is a plague, and this is only going to happen again. This is cyclical. Look at this. Dan Didio brought about identity crisis, and he just steered the universe into New 52 as hard as he could as soon as he had the power to do so, as soon as he was elevated and promoted. And then New 52 failed. After the spectacle, after they just drove it into the ground, it failed. The higher-ups came in and forced them to shut up and let Rebirth happen. Rebirth was delightful. Now Dan Didio, business as usual. And now the higher-ups are having to step back in and say, no, let's go back to basics again, because apparently, we've learned nothing, just from the last 2 years. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. As much as I love the DC heroes and the DC universe, do they even deserve to be a company anymore? Just throw them in public domain. I don't even, these guys, I'm done giving them chances. To hell with you, DC. If you can't see the light, if you can't get it through your thick skull that this man is a problem and that this is a cyclical problem in your company and in the direction of these comics. You have a horrible, horrible habit of mishandling this cherished folklore, this cherished American and worldwide folklore of these heroes. You just can't get it through your thick skulls what the problem is. Yet now we're going back to basics. You should never have left it. You should always be sticking with the roots and delivering epic stories with the world class. Why do you keep having to go back to it? Because you keep letting this dill hole take you away from it. Okay. That's all. Short video, but a response to this. I will say that in my last video, I'd mistakenly read the article that Teen Titans was being canceled, but it looked like it actually said Titans was being canceled. Everything I said about Teen Titans is still completely valid. It's an awful run, and they've done horrible things to Damian in that direction of that. But Titans, let's just talk about that, because that's a very, very key telling point that Titans is canceled now. When Rebirth came in, it was heralded by Wally West, the return of Wally West, the heart of everything we loved about the DC Universe, that one legacy character who everybody loved and came to symbolize so much of the warmth and hopefulness of the universe. Him returning, Jeff Johns having him return, was huge. That was a symbolic, momentous event that really told you that the universe was turning on a pin. And in his run that he continued in, I mean, he made cameos in different arcs, of course, came into the Flash every now and then, but he was in the Titans. The Titans series was really the crux of his story, because it told about him and these friends getting back together and rediscovering that they remembered each other and really rediscovering their camaraderie together. And the Titans team, Nightwing, Roy Harper, the Flash, Donna Troy, Tempest, as he called him now, or Omen, they were perfect together. That was a joyful run, and it really was symbolizing the heart of the DC Universe that was returning. And well, we can't keep it going. No, we can't keep that going. They actually started killing that quite quickly. They started making them sort of rebels and subservient to the Justice League, and making them little screw-ups. And because Dan Didio hates Dick Grayson and Wally West, and they were the linchpins of that group. So we got to kill Wally West. Just kill his ass off again in Heroes in Crisis, because, who needs him around anymore? A symbol of hope and warmth and everything. We got to go dark and edgy. And then let's get rid of Dick Grayson. Well, we can't kill him off because he's too beloved, so let's just shoot him in the head. Call him Rick and, screw him up pretty well. That'll work. Good job, Didio. Good job. And these changes have led, and Ethan Van Sciver made a great point that the Justice League movie is probably a great part of this, and I don't doubt that by any means, but you cannot ignore, and we cannot just sit there and say that, comics are suffering because of poor innocent DC is suffering because of the film industry and because of what Marvel over there is doing. No, DC is effed up, and they need to get their crap together once and for all, because this is just nonsense. So anyway, that's my take on that. I will be back for more reviews later, and hopefully I can stop thinking about this bald-headed menace in the comics. He's just so infuriating. I don't know whose wife he has pictures of, or somebody, like, he's got something on somebody higher up that he's just never getting fired. I don't know what that's about. Hopefully he is. I've heard some people postulate that maybe he's on the chopping block, but they don't want to announce too much too soon. I don't know if that's happened. That almost be too good to be true. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But until next time, thanks for liking, subscribing, sharing the video around, and keep enjoying and digging deeper into the hero stories you enjoy most. Thanks for watching.